Alrighty, so we are going to look at a normal mode Zuck kill with Necromancy. I've seen a couple of different guides out there, and I just personally prefer to do this fight a little differently than I've seen other people do it. So I'm going to just give my take on it, and hopefully it's helpful to someone. So just before I actually start the kill, since we're fortunately able to stand in the Zuck arena before starting, I just wanted to talk a little bit about positioning. We will spend a majority of our time for this entire kill up in this northwest corner. I really like to make use of this rock as my safe spot. And essentially what that'll do is just give us plenty of room to move around up here within this safe spot and still make sure that other things get lured behind the rocks that we want to get lured. A lot of people like this southeast spot. It's just personally not my preference, so like I said, this is just a little bit different. And we'll see how it goes. I've also never done one of these with Necromancy. I have no idea really what to expect, but I don't suspect it'll be much different than Magic, so should be fine. I do have a Blood Reaver for my familiar. I've been told that's likely my best option. I threw some Quarm incense sticks on, as well as I brought a Weapon Poison +++. Other than that, I mean, not much to say. I got a Thermal Bath from Anachronia, and I grabbed a Bonfire Boost at War's Retreat. Other than that, inventory is pretty standard. I made sure that I have all of my Necromancy runes and some Ectoplasm. I brought my rune pouches here so I could use Disruption Shield on the Zuck fight. I wouldn't say that's necessary. We can do it with Resonance as well. I am used to using Disruption Shield, so I will do that. I brought an Adren pot. I brought some Weapon Poison, some Vuln Bombs, plenty of Super Restores because I don't know how long this will take, and just some food. So I'll do this on Majorat Aura, and I'm going to make sure that I use Darkness, and we'll give this a go. So the very first segment of waves here, I'm not going to be very particular about positioning at all. I'm going to spawn all of my guys, and Life Transfer, just to make sure they stay up. I know that they're a big part of what we're about to do here, so... Weapon Poison. So like I said, I'm not going to be overly concerned about my positioning for this first segment, and the reason for that is because of the fact that nothing really hurts you that much in the first few waves. But this whole first segment, my rule is that I want to kill anything that is not a meleeer first, because a majority of the mobs that spawn in these first waves are melees. What that means is that anytime I'm taking damage from a non-melee combat style, I will likely get hurt a little bit more. And because of that, like I said, I'm just going to try and prioritize anything that isn't attacking with melee or these bats. I'm just throwing shards on Zuck to help out a little bit there. Like I said, so I'm taking care of the bat. I've got a bunch of meleeers that are going to spawn on this wave, but I have a ranger as well. So I'm going to just use Threads of Fate, and I assume this will be pretty decent to just use Threads and Volley of Souls. Yeah, there goes everything. Now our other ranger here has come out of hiding, and because of that I'm prioritizing Range Spray. Now I've got two meleeers to worry about, and we're going to get into our first challenge wave here. Just going to throw another Shard Zuck, and now all of these melee waves, there are 3 big meleeers, 1, 2, and the one I'm attacking here, that need to be stunned. I'm just using Soul Strike on them to make them vulnerable, and then I'm clearing them out. All of the other mobs can be ignored. And once I kill this third one, it'll be time for the first challenge. Oh, I haven't even turned my book on yet. I'm using a full book, but I don't think it really matters whatever one you have is fine, I'm sure. So I'll throw another shard. We'll pop Zuck. Do some damage to him. I don't know, I used a Skulls and a Volley of Souls, now I'm just trying to build stuff back up. Now our first challenge here, all I'm going to do is use Threads of Fate. I'm going to use maybe my weapon spec, and then like a Finger of Death. Yeah, that killed everything. Okay. Now, like I said, for Jad waves, I want to be in the southeast corner. That's my rule of thumb, just for me personally. I find that that keeps me the safest, and I assume that still holds true with Necromancy. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. So I'm going to make sure that I prioritize whatever the Jad is doing to me, because as soon as Jad does anything to me, we're not going to have much fun. So Jad's dead. I've got a bunch of rangers here, so I'm going to pray range, making sure that I don't take too much damage from them. There are these two bats that are eating me alive that I should have prioritized first, but I didn't. And this brings us into the next segment, essentially, of the fight, where they are predominantly range-based enemies. So this is where my safe spot is going to come into play.
Show me you are worthy.
So first thing I'll do is kill these bats because they are closest to me, and because they are a problem, always. Like I said, because I'm taking damage from rangers, I want to be praying range. A majority of the things attacking me in this wave are range, so much the same, I'm just standing around praying range. I dropped a Prism of Restoration just to heal up my Blood Reaver because his HP was getting low. Anytime I don't have a target here as well, I can just re-click all of my familiars before moving on to attack this guy. We're not in a rush. So we'll clear the last mob that just got stuck. Back into my safe spot. So I've got two mages that spawned, and because these are ranger-dominated waves, I'm going to clear the mages first. That way I'm not taking extra damage and unnecessary damage from a different combat style that I can't pray against. I missed my click there, and now I'm walking around and ruining my lures, so that's not great, but at this point we're essentially just clearing things out one at a time. As you can see, I'm not doing anything special here. I'm really just clicking. I'm camping 12 Finger of Death stacks, not like I'm even using them. I'm kind of just using 3 basic abilities, and every now and again I'm using my skulls when it's off cooldown. So this could be done a lot quicker. Anytime my ghosties look like they're going to die, I just have been healing them up. Now we've got our last buddy here. I don't know, throw a bloat on him, I guess. So this next group of challenge wave is going to be rangers, so we have to use thresholds. So I'm just going to use bloat, and then, like, I don't know, Finger of Death. Cool. So I'll use Finger of Death on this one as well. My overload's running out. I can hear the ticking. And this last one, I'm going to just use bloat, because I don't have enough stacks to use Finger without costing adren. So as soon as he's cleared, I'm going to resummon all my guys because I don't have a target, and that makes them free. I'll extend them all, pop my my Zuck button, use volley, use skulls, pretty much just stand here in AFK, wait for him to finish dying. Drop a prism to heal up my Blood Reaver that's dying. I'm assuming I can just use Finger of Death on this guy and he'll die. And after each challenge wave, there's always a Jad wave. What that means is that I always am going to head southeast after my challenge wave. So here, just like before, I'm kind of just hanging out, waiting for Jads to spawn, staying in my corner of safety, waiting anything that's close by that I can kind of clean up, I'm cleaning up. We've got lots of mages spawning, so I'm prioritizing praying against those and killing anything that is not a mage first. Once these guys are finished being lured down, I'll clear them out. My Blood Reaver is still very low HP, so I'm trying to just throw another crystal down to heal it up. I've done a very terrible job at putting it in a bad location. I'm just going to again use my my skulls. I'm going to pray against the Jad. I use that insta-kill marker on them as well. Throwing more shards on Zuck. As you can see, my Blood Reaver's back to good HP. So this starts the third chunk of enemies. These are all predominantly mages, so I'm prioritizing anything that is not a mage. My darkness is going to run out soon, so I'm going to clear that really quick. To resummon all my guys before I target anything. Praying mage. Now that everything that is not a mage is dead, this should be nice and easy. So I'm just going to use Threads of Fate here just to kind of clean things up a little quicker, but I've walked over here, which has shaken this bat loose, so now the bat becomes my first priority. I'm not even praying at the moment, apparently, so, like, I mean, you're not going to take too much damage. Darkness does a whole lot of work for you, which is nice. Again, back to my safe spot here. I'll throw a shard at Zuck just to keep that moving forward. I've got a ranger spawn, so I'm cleaning him up first before all of my mages spawn. Now I've got mage prey on, and I'm just dealing with anything that's maging me. Because I'm in my nice safe spot, this other ranger has gotten nicely lured behind this rock, so I don't even have to worry about him. So now, all I have to do is kill everything that's kind of hanging out here. This should shake that ranger loose, but I've still got this final mage stuck, so it doesn't even matter. So now I just pray range, clean him up, and now finish up my last mage. Last set of waves. I've got some mages that spawn. All I have to do is be in melee distance to them, and they will take a bunch of damage, and I'll break open their cages. So again, I'm just kind of walking around, attacking whatever's closest. Once I kill this one, I'll probably summon all my ghosty ghoulies again. Just, I'm kind of just building up, so I've got a lot of oomph for Zuck here. Oh, I decided to attack Zuck instead of summoning my guys. Oops, that was a mistake, but again, not a big deal. I'm going to just use skulls, and I probably won't actually use anything else. Maybe I'll throw my volley just to make sure he clears, and then I'll just build back my Adren. Now, this wave, I don't know if it's different with Necro, so I'm going to try rezzing the first one. I'm going to dish shield the second one. I'm going to barricade, and that should give me enough time that I should be fine. Yeah, as expected. Alright, so now I'm just back in my southeast corner, just like I said before. This is our safe spot for Jads. I only have 40 seconds left on my overload, so I'm going to drink one now. I'm going to use that insta-kill on him to make sure he's marked, so he dies quickly. And just like the other one, we're going to insta-kill mark him. Finger, I guess. I'm still building soul stacks. I'm going to save all these 5 soul stacks that I'm building now for Harakin anyway. So I'm probably just going to be really delicate on what I use on Jad here. And then I'm going to resummon all my conjures now that I don't have a target, and wait for Jad. I'm going to use my soul, my split soul, throw a Vuln. And I'm really just using all of the stored up damage potential that I've saved here. So like I had, oh, okay, he's dead already. That was really, okay. All I did was volley and used a couple of fingers and used death skulls. So now I'm just getting ready for Zuck. I'll extend all my familiars just to make sure they're good. I didn't really expect that to go as well as it did. So now I'm just going to pray melee, and I'm going to DPS. So I used skulls in my ultimate, I used an Adren pot there. I'm really just ignoring everything he's doing and just eating as required, which as you can see hasn't happened yet. As soon as he slams the ground for his next ability, I'm going to surge and get away from him. That's pretty much all we have to do. The next thing he's going to do is say be gone and use an insta-kill on me. So as soon as I see that, that's my cue that I'm going to just disruption shield or res. There we go. Now he goes to pizza phase, so I'm going to anticipate beforehand or freedom afterwards. Then we need to do to come over to our first enemy. I like to surge dive. Then we stun him because he's one of the meleeers. We can target Zuck again, and we're always going straight across and slightly to the left if we're looking at Zuck. So that's kind of, you can retarget Zuck and make sure that you've always got good location. Whoa. Bit of a mistake in positioning there. That's what not to do. Don't stand in the light, in the fire. Now I'm just going to get back on the last guy here. Again, I want to be inside the box of doom. And now I've got this special attack button for Zuck, so I'm going to click that, and this will probably just be a matter of using skulls, volley, and he should just die here. Yeah. There he goes. I didn't even insta-kill mark him. He's dead. Oh, okay, that was a PR. That's kind of cool. Without really knowing what I was doing or using a Grim. Yeah, so that's Zuck. I guess the only mistakes I would say there would be the standing in the fire. That was not great, so make sure you surge and dive properly. And don't let your Reaver die on Zuck. If you're having a hard time with food, you can just drop a Prism of Restoration. Other than that, I don't know what else to tell you. Stand in the northwest, and if it's right after one of those challenges in front of Zuck, go stand in the southeast. And everything will be fine. Okay, good luck.